Please tell me whether my screen is visible or not. Is it visible? My screen visible to you? Today's class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Right. In today's class, we are going to see this extrinsic semiconductor materials. These extrinsic semiconductor materials are of two types, that is P type and N type. And thereafter, after seeing the what is the structure of P type semiconductor material and N type semiconductor material, what are the majority carriers, what are the minority carriers, we will see in these two types of semiconductor material. After that, what is the Fermi energy level? What is the Fermi levels is going to be located? How they are going to be located, and what are the levels will be present there? We will see. We are going to analyze these Fermi levels today. And this what is the Fermi-Dirac equation later on in the later sessions. We will see what is the Fermi-Dirac equation in the depth manner. దానికి ఒక చిన్న డెరివేషన్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ డెరివేషన్ డెరైవ్ చేసుకుంటాం ఇన్ అప్కమింగ్ క్లాసెస్లో. ప్రస్తుతానికి ఏంటంటే ఫర్మీ లెవెల్ ఏంటంటే ఫర్మీ డిరాక్ ఈక్వేషన్ అంటే ఏంటో చూసాం అనమాట. అట్లాగనే దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని ఫర్మీ లెవెల్స్ పీ టైప్ సెమీ కండక్టర్లో ఎట్లా ఉంటాయి, ఎన్ టైప్ సెమీ కండక్టర్లో ఎట్లా ఉంటాయో చూస్తాం అనమాట. అది ఫస్ట్ టాపిక్ in this extrinsic semiconductor. This extrinsic semiconductor means I will take one pure form of semiconductor. Some impurity is added to the pure form of semiconductor. Then we can call that it as extrinsic semiconductor materials. That is, in order to change the properties of a semiconductor material, why I am adding that impurity to the pure form of semiconductor means in order to change the semiconductor material properties. A small amount of other material, that is impurity, a small amount of other material is added to it. That means to change the properties of a semiconductor material, a small amount of other material or impurity is added to it. Then that semiconductor material is called extrinsic semiconductor material. And next point, we may call it as the process of adding other material or other impurity to crystal of intrinsic means pure form of semiconductor in order to improve its conductivity. In order to improve its conductivity is known as doping. Doping means the adding of impurity to the pure form of semiconductor material is called doping. Simply I can quote it as adding of impurity to the semiconductor material is called doping. Why the doping I am making here? Why the doping I am going for doping means in order to increase the conductivity or improve the conductivity. Improve conductivity ni improve చేయటం కోసం we are going for this technique. That technique is doping technique. Doping technique, by using this doping I am improving the conductivity here. That impurity, whatever the impurity I am adding here, that impurity is called as dopant. That impurity is called as dopant here. The process of adding other materials or impurity to the intrinsic semiconductor material to improve its conductivity or increase its conductivity is known as doping. That impurity is called as dopant. Dopant. Just what is doping? I know the point. I know the term doping here, as well as I know the term dopant. Dopant. ఇంప్యూరిటీ ఆ ప్రాసెస్ నేమో డోపింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అంటాం, ఆ ఇంప్యూరిటీ నేమో డోపెంట్ అంటాం అనమాట. ఇంప్యూరిటీ నేమో డోపెంట్ అంటాం, ప్రాసెస్ నేమో డోపింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అని చెప్పి అంటాం అనమాట. అండ్ దిస్ డోప్డ్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎక్స్ట్రిన్సిక్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్. ఆ ఇంప్యూర్ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్ని మనం ఇదేంటి డోపింగ్ చేసాం కదా ఈ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్, దాన్ని సింపుల్గా డోప్డ్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎక్స్ట్రిన్సిక్ సెమీకండక్టర్స్ అంటాం అనమాట. నెక్స్ట్ ఎక్స్ట్రిన్సిక్ సెమీకండక్టర్స్ ఆర్ ఆఫ్ టూ టైప్స్, దట్ ఈస్ పీ టైప్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్ అండ్ ఎన్ టైప్ సెమీకండక్టర్ మెటీరియల్. First one is p-type semiconductor material. We know the difference between p-type and n-type semiconductor material. In that p-type semiconductor possess more number of holes, that is majority carriers are holes. In n-type semiconductor material, more number of electrons are present. In other form, majority carriers are electrons. This is the basic difference between p-type and n-type. Simply I am notating that p-type as in brackets, notating it as majority carriers. In n-type, majority carriers are electrons. This is the basic difference. After knowing the basic difference, I am going in depth of what is n-type, what is p-type, like that. I will go with respect to the crystal structure of p-type material and n-type material. For our convenience, I am going for this n-type semiconductor. I will take first n-type semiconductor material. This is the n-type semiconductor material. In n-type semiconductor material, a small amount of pentavalent impurity, is added to the semiconductor material. Let it be, it is surrounded with four. This is one electron, this is one electron, this is one electron, and this is one electron. 4 electrons plus 1, 5 electrons are there. Here a small amount of pentavalent impurity is added to pure semiconductor. That may be a germanium or silicon. Pure semiconductor, that may be, we can use here silicon or germanium. In this place I can use, here also I can use some other silicon atom, this here some other silicon atom, here some other silicon atom, here another silicon atom can be combined here. That is called pentavalent impurity is added to pure semiconductor material is called n-type semiconductor material. The pentavalent impurity has 5 valence electrons in its outermost shell. In its outermost shell, 5 valence electrons are present here. Example for these pentavalent impurities are arsenic, antimony, bismuth, phosphorus. Arsenic, antimony, bismuth, phosphorus is the examples for pentavalent impurities. Such impurity is called donor impurity. It is donating one electron. It is going to donate one electron, so I can call this impurity as donor impurity. It is making, this arsenic atom is making covalent bond with the adjacent silicon atoms. Do you observe this one? Please observe this one. This arsenic atom consists of 4 electrons plus 1 electron. This is making one covalent bond. This is making another covalent bond with the adjacent silicon atom. It is making another covalent bond with silicon atom. It is making another covalent bond with the silicon atom. It is making 4 covalent bonds very easily, but one electron remains as is the one electron remains in that outermost shell. One electron remains in free state. I can call this electron as free electron. It is not making any sort of bonding with other atoms here. This free electron, if I am adding one impurity to the pure form of semiconductor material, I am acquiring one free electron. Similarly, if that impurity concentration keeps on increases, these free electrons concentration also increases. Impurity levels, these donor atoms levels are increases. If I am increasing this donor atoms levels, then these free electrons capacity also increases. Then more number of free electrons I am going to acquire depends upon this donor impurity. How many donor impurities are added to the semiconductor crystal, that much number of free electrons can be acquired here. That is the meaning here. Donor impurity and doping causes due to these donor impurities is called donor doping. What type of impurity I am adding here? Donor impurity. It is a pentavalent type. One electron remains in free state. I can call that electron as free electron. Here donor impurity is called, such impurity is called donor impurity, and doping causes due to that donor impurity is called donor doping. This is the first point we should memorize here, means pentavalent impurity. That pentavalent impurity, other name is donor impurity. What is the process it is undergoing? That process I can call that process as donor doping. Donor doping. First one is donor pentavalent impurity, other name is donor impurity, and the doping process is donor doping. And further we are going further, that is considering the formation of n-type semiconductor material. This is the n-type semiconductor material by adding arsenic into silicon. It has 5 valence electrons. And An arsenic atom fits in silicon crystal in such a way that its 4 valence electrons form covalent bond. 4 valence electrons forms 4 covalent bonds with adjacent silicon atoms. The fifth electron has no chance of forming a covalent bond. No chance. This fifth electron is there is no chance of forming a covalent bond with other atom, and fifth electron has no chance of forming a covalent bond as it remains as a free electron. This means that each arsenic atom added into silicon atom gives one free electron here. It is going to give one free electron, and the number of such free electrons, the number of such free electrons can be controlled by the amount of impurity added. The number of such free electrons can be controlled by the amount of impurity added to silicon atom. Since free electrons have negative charges, the material here, the material is known as N-type semiconductors. Why? Because the majority charge carriers here mainly causes because of that impurity, that is donor impurity, and we can call this semiconductor material as N-type semiconductor material. Note here, note one donor impurity atom donates one free electron here. One donor impurity donates one free electron in N-type semiconductor material. These free electrons acts as majority charge carriers here. These free electrons acts as majority charge carriers. That means holes are minority charge carriers. These electrons are majority charge carriers and holes are very less in N-type semiconductor material. So those are minority charge carriers. That is the meaning here. Next, conduction. Conduction in N-type semiconductor material. I know the structure of N-type semiconductor material, how it is forming, what by using what doping it is forming, by using what type of impurity it is forming here, and that impurity, I can call that impurity as pentavalent impurity, and that impurity other name can be called as donor impurity. That process is known as donor doping. And by obtaining the covalent bond, by making the covalent bonds, 4 covalent bonds, one electron remains in the outermost shell. That electron I am treating this as free electron. Because of these donor impurities, the concentration of these free electrons keeps on increases. That is the those are the points we have discussed till now. And after the obtaining the after obtaining the facts about these n type of semiconductor material, I am using that layered type of n-type semiconductor material. This is the layered type of n-type semiconductor material. In that n-type semiconductor material, majority charge carriers are electrons here. These are black colored one is the electrons, and this is white hole structure is there. Those are the holes. Those are the holes. I am just one n-type semiconductor material. N-type semiconductor material is providing some voltage supply for the N-type semiconductor material. Then the charge carriers present in the N-type semiconductor material, majority charge carriers are electrons normally. Simple point. Normally the charge carriers present in that N-type semiconductor material is electrons. Those electrons normally possess the negative charge. Those electrons are attracted towards positive terminal of battery, and holes, some of the holes are there. Those are positive charge carriers. Those are attracted towards negative terminal of battery. Depending upon that, that both the charge carriers, electrons and holes, travels in opposite direction. But for our convenience, I am notating only electron direction here. I am notating only electron direction here. We will see what is the total current, how it is flow in this semiconductor material. Conduction in N-type semiconductor material. When voltage is applied to N-type semiconductor, the free electrons which are readily available due to added impurity moves in a direction of positive terminal of voltage applied. That means positive terminal of battery, whatever the battery is applied here or voltage applied, those electrons travel towards this positive terminal of battery or voltage applied. This constitutes this traveling of these electrons constitutes a current flow. the conduction is predominantly by free electrons. These main conduction, the current conduction is taking place mainly by these free electrons, not by these holes. And the holes are less in number, and holes are less in number. And the current conduction, because of these holes, I am going to consider. I am going to consider both the electron current as well as hole current. We know this one. Total current is given by summation of electron current and hole current. That in previous sessions we have discussed the total current is equal to n plus p. N plus p. For our convenience, I am notating with respect to the current here. That current is IT. IT means total current. That is equal to hole current plus electron current. Hole current plus electron current. For our convenience, I am just interchanging those terms with respect to n-type semiconductor material. I am giving the whole electron current first and then hole current later, like that. Here, this constitutes a current. The conduction is predominantly by free electrons and holes are less in number. Hence, electron current is dominant over the hole current. Here, electron current is very much high. Here, the electrons are flowing in this direction. It is very high when compared to this hole current here. These electrons are negative charge carriers. These are attracted towards positive terminal of battery, and these electrons will keeps on flowing in this direction from left to right, from left to right, like that. Total current is given by IT is equal to IN plus IP. But here whole current is very much less, very much less. I am going to neglect this whole current here. Therefore, it is total current is approximately equal to IN. Total current is approximately equal to electron current. This is the point. Therefore, in n-type semiconductor, free electrons are majority charge carriers while the holes are minority charge carriers. From this, by applying, I am taking one specimen or semiconductor material, that is n-type semiconductor material. If it is attached to some battery supply or voltage supply, how the charge carriers are flowing, due to the flow of charge carriers, some flow of current is taking place. That flow of current is mainly because of electrons in n-type semiconductor material. Therefore, total current is given by electron current here. That is indicated as IT is equal to IN. IN. Here majority charge carriers are electrons and minority charge carriers are holes. This is the conduction part. This is about first in explain about n-type semiconductor material means you need to draw this crystal structure. After giving out this crystal structure and telling all the things which are present in the crystal structure, later on draw this n-type semiconductor material attached to some battery supply and explain what happens inside the semiconductor material. Then you will get the you can give the what is n-type semiconductor material and its conduction in n-type semiconductor material. Similarly, the same process I am going to apply with respect I am going to apply the same process to the p-type semiconductor also. Same process. I am going to apply it. I will take one crystal structure again. With respect, I will consider here some gallium atom here. Impurity is changes here. Impurity is going to be changed. That impurity is trivalent type. Same process. Just focus upon this p-type semiconductor material. When a small amount of trivalent impurity is added to pure semiconductor, it is called as p-type semiconductor. When a small amount of trivalent impurity, trivalent means three outermost shell, three valence electrons are present here. Outermost shell, three valence electrons are present here. Those are trivalent impurities. It is added to the pure semiconductor. It is called p-type semiconductor. The trivalent impurities has three valence electrons in its outermost shell. Example of these trivalent impurities is gallium, indium, boron. For our convenience sake, for memorizing sake, I am indicating first letters here, that is gallium, indium, boron. Such an impurity is called acceptor impurity. Acceptor impurity. Why I am treating this impurity as acceptor impurity means here it is making, it consists of the outermost shell consists of three electrons. It is making three covalent bonds here. It is making three covalent bonds and one vacant position is there. This is the orange color indicated as hole. Some vacant position is there in the outermost shell, that vacant position I can treat that vacant position as hole here. That vacant position can be accommodated by the other electron also. It is going to accommodate it by the other charge carrier. It can make some other bonding with the other atom also. That impurity, by adding this impurity, it is ready to accept, it is ready to accept some other charge carrier. We can call this impurity as acceptor impurity. It is ready to accept another charge carrier, that may be electron, that maybe it can make some bonding with the with by using that electron. It can ready to accept. In the previous case it is ready to donate, it is ready to donate, whereas in this case it is ready to accept some electron. I can call this impurity as acceptor impurity. And doping causing due to this acceptor impurity is called acceptor doping. Acceptor doping. Such an impurity is called acceptor impurity. Some vacant position is there. It can accept some charge carrier in this vacant position and make some bonding like that. Here, by keeping on adding these gallium atoms into this silicon crystal, then depending upon these acceptor impurities, the whole positions also keeps on increases. That means depends upon the trivalent impurities. The other name for these trivalent impurities is acceptor impurities. That process is known as acceptor doping. Acceptor doping. By adding these gallium atoms into the silicon, more number of impurities are added. Then it will create more number of holes. More number of holes in the p-type semiconductor material. In the p-type semiconductor material, more number of holes are get created here. Is it audible, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. uh, Acceptor impurities are added. Next, I am describing about that crystal structure. That crystal structure, consider the formation of p-type material by adding gallium into silicon. Gallium into silicon. It has 3 valence electrons. So gallium atom fits into silicon crystal in such a way, that its 3 valence electrons form covalent bonds. 3 valence electrons 3 valence electrons form covalent bonds with 3 adjacent silicon atoms, but short of 1 electron. It is shortage with 1 electron, but short of 1 electron. The fourth covalent bond is valence shell. The fourth covalent bond is in this fourth covalent bond is incomplete here. This fourth covalent bond is incomplete. It is shortage with some 1 electron. That shortage, that vacancy, I can call that vacancy as hole here. It is short of 1 electron. The fourth covalent bond in valence shell is incomplete. The resulting vacancy is called a hole. I am treating that vacancy as hole here. This means that each gallium atom added into silicon atom gives one hole. Each This means that each gallium atom added into silicon atom gives one hole. The number of such holes can be controlled by the amount of impurities. ఈ హోల్స్ని మనం ఎన్నైతే ఇంప్యూరిటీస్ యాడ్ చేస్తామో అన్ని దట్ మచ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ హోల్స్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు అప్టైన్ హియర్. Therefore, by adding this impurity, the control of these holes can be done. That is the meaning of this point. The number of such holes can be controlled by the amount of impurities added to silicon. As holes treated as positively charged carriers or particles, then that material is known as p-type semiconductor material. These holes are positively charged carriers. Then this material is treated as p-type semiconductor material. This is about crystal structure of p-type semiconductor material. Next one, after knowing all these details, like it is a trivalent impurity, it is acceptor type of impurity, the doping process is acceptor doping, gallium atom is added to silicon crystal, and the formation of holes takes place. These formation of holes, the concentration of these holes keeps on increases by the adding of the depends upon these donor the depends upon these acceptor impurities. That is, holes are positive charge carriers. Therefore, the semiconductor material is called as p-type semiconductor material. These are the points regarding crystal structure of p type of semiconductor material. Next one, I will take the p type semiconductor material, p-type semiconductor material conduction. Before going to that, at room temperature, I'm going to take two more points. That is, at room temperature, thermal energy is sufficient to extract an electron from neighboring atom, but this creates vacancy in adjacent bond, and it is known as hole. In other terms here, and it is known as hole. At room temperature, thermal energy is sufficient to extract an electron from the neighboring atom, but this creates a vacancy. ఇప్పుడు for this point is, if this covalent bond breaks down, this electron flees to some other atom, and it will create some hole also. That may be that process may also would takes place here. It would takes place here. Then electron hole pairs can be created here. Then the another hole and electron pair is going to generated, and the recombination may takes place here. And that process keeps on increases. Due to that process also, holes concentration may increases. That is the point here author is explaining. Adjacent bond, due to that also some vacancy are get created in the adjacent covalent bond, and it is known as hole. This indicates that more holes get created due to the adding of small amount of acceptor impurities. And conduction in p-type semiconductor material. If p-type semiconductor material is subjected to electric field by applying voltage, then holes moves in the valence band and are mainly responsible for conduction of current, that is hole current. Here indication, same specimen I am taking here, same specimen, that is p-type semiconductor material. Here majority charge carriers are holes and minority charge carriers are electrons. These electrons are traveling in this direction, and holes are positive charge particles, and these are attracted towards negative terminal of battery, and hole movement is taking place in this direction. Here p-type material is subjected to electric field by applying voltage, then holes moves in the valence band. Those holes moves in the valence band. That means indirectly the electrons which are present in the valence band will move to the conduction band. Some of the electrons will move to the conduction band, and holes remains in the valence band and are mainly responsible for conduction of current, and are those holes are mainly responsible for conduction of current. That current, I can treat that current as hole current here. I am going to treat that current as hole current. That is the point. The free electrons are present in conduction band. The electrons which are present in this level across the electrons which are present in this valence band will shift to the conduction band. The holes remains in this valence band, and electrons remains in this conduction band. That is the point I am notating here. Here the free electrons are present in conduction band but are very less in number. Free electrons are very less in number. Hence, holes are, due to that adding of impurities, more number of holes are get created at it, and those holes concentration keeps on increases. Hence, those holes are majority charge carriers and electrons are minority charge carriers. Here, the majority charge carriers are holes and the minority charge carriers are electrons. And total current here, total current is given by ip plus in. Here it is equal to ip plus in. I am neglecting this electron current, and I am considering only hole current here. Therefore total current it is equal to in ip sorry total current it is equal to ip, that is hole current. Majority carriers are holes here, and these 2 points I need to write here. I will write later. I will write this one. Total current. Do you getting this? Total current can be notated it as ip plus in. Therefore total current ip is equal to ip is, I can consider this total current hole current as total current here. This is the main point. From that point we can easily conclude that majority charge carriers in p-type semiconductor material is holes, and minority charge carriers in p-type semiconductor material is electrons. And after obtaining these majority charge carriers and minority charge carriers in p-type and n-type semiconductor material, and we know the concept of Fermi levels. We will go for the Fermi levels here. Here Fermi energy levels in extrinsic semiconductor material. Just watch this one. I will indicate this diagram. I will go to explain very deeply in the upcoming classes. Just watch this one. This is the energy band diagram. Energy band diagram. Three bands are there. That is conduction band, that is valence band, conduction band, and forbidden energy gap. Here also valence band, conduction band, and forbidden energy gap. Here the energy diagram for n-type extrinsic semiconductor material, this one, and this is the p-type extrinsic semiconductor material is this one. Let us in intrinsic semiconductor material also I am having this energy band diagram energy band diagram over there. That means the Fermi energy level in intrinsic semiconductor material lies at the center of this conduction band and valence band. Fermi energy level lies at the center of this one, center of forbidden energy gap. EF is provided, that EF can be given by EF is equal to EC plus EV by 2 in intrinsic semiconductor material. But in extrinsic semiconductor material, that Fermi energy level is going to be shift here. That Fermi energy level is indicated as EF here. ఈ ఫర్మీ ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్ని ఈఎఫ్గా తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఫర్మీ ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్ హియర్ ది in n-type semiconductor material, more electrons are formed here across this conduction band. This is the level. This is due to that donor impurities. I am getting more number of electrons here, and I am getting some energy level due to that electrons. That energy level, I am going to obtain that energy level. That energy level is donor energy level. I am treating that due to the donor impurities. I am getting some donor energy level. That energy level is ED here. ED. Similarly, in p-type semiconductor material, I am going to obtain the acceptor. Due to the acceptor impurities, I am going to obtain some energy level here, that is the acceptor energy level. That energy level is indicated as EA here. This is in n-type semiconductor material. Due to donor impurities, I am obtaining some donor energy level, that is ED. Whereas in p-type semiconductor material, I am going to obtain some acceptor energy level. Due to the acceptor impurities, I am going to treat it as EA here. This is donor energy level is ED, acceptor energy level is EA. Here Fermi energy level is indicated, that is EF here. EF. Conduction energy level is EC, valence energy level is EV. Conduction is EC, valence is EV. Just memorize this diagram. Later on we will discuss. And this is another diagram. Same representation is equal, but here Fermi energy level is clearly given. That is Fermi level. This is Fermi level. This is the Fermi level. This Fermi level. I am getting the energy level here. Donor energy level is obtaining due to extra electron energy level. This is the energy level ED is mainly causing because of extra energy level. That extra energy level is ED. Here donor energy level is ED, that is indicated with these electrons, that is extra energy level. Here another extra energy level is obtained, that is extra hole energy level. This one simply, this is the extra hole energy level. This is the Fermi level. Across this one, some Fermi level is going to be given here. In this n-type semiconductor material, some extra electron energy level. Simply for simplicity's sake, I am giving the notation like this. For extra electron energy level, this is the extra hole energy level. And Fermi energy level shift towards conduction band. What is Fermi-Dirac expression means? It will give the probability of occupancy of charge carriers, probability of occupancy of majority charge carriers. That means Fermi energy level shift towards this conduction band, and whereas here Fermi energy level shift towards this valence band. Majority charge carriers are present in across this valence band in p-type semiconductor material, whereas in n-type semiconductor material, Fermi level shift towards the conduction band. Simply, that is the meaning. And Fermi levels in n-type semiconductor material. In n-type semiconductor, a donor impurity is added. Each of donor atom donates one free electron, and there are large number of free electrons available in conduction band. Large number of free electrons available in conduction band across this conduction band. And the donor energy level ED correspond to donor impurity added is just below the conduction band. Donor impurity energy level is indicated with ED here. ED, just below the conduction energy level. That conduction energy level is EC. This donor level is indicated as ED, and its distance is 0.01 electron volt in germanium and 0.05 electron volt in silicon below the conduction band. Ikkada ee distance this distance between the donor energy level and conduction energy level, that distance is 0.01 in germanium and 0.05 in silicon. That is the point here, notating here. Here donor energy level is indicated as ED, and its distance is 0.01 electron volt in germanium and 0.05 electron volt in silicon below conduction band. As this distance is very small, even at room temperature, almost all the extra electrons from donor impurity atoms jumps into conduction band. These electrons jumps into conduction band. Almost at room temperature, these electrons are going to shifts into conduction band. That is the notation giving here. Conduction. These electrons from donor impurity atoms jumps into conduction band. Hence, number of free electrons are large here. So, in n-type semiconductor material, Fermi energy level EF gets shift towards conduction band. Gets shift towards conduction band. But it is below donor energy level. But it is below donor energy level. Conduction band ki koncham kindaga untundannamata Fermi energy level. Why? Because majority charge carriers are across this donor energy level as well as conduction band, but it is below the energy level, donor energy level ED. That is the notation given here. EF gets shifted towards the conduction band, but it is below donor energy level ED. This is about Fermi energy level in n-type semiconductor material. Next one, in p-type semiconductor material. In p-type semiconductor material, acceptor impurity is added. Each acceptor atom creates one hole, and there are large number of holes available in valence band. Large number of holes are available in valence band. The acceptor energy level correspond to acceptor impurities. We know this point. Get introduced and indicated as EA. EA here. Acceptor impurities. Some energy level is get created across this acceptor impurity level. That energy level is EA. And acceptor energy level corresponding to acceptor impurity get introduced and indicated as EA. It is very close to valence band, just above EV. Just above EV undiddi. This is just above this EV. This acceptor energy level is present. That acceptor energy level is EA. And at room temperature, the electrons from valence band jumps into acceptor energy level, leaving behind the holes in valence band. This shifts the Fermi energy level EF towards valence band, and it lies above the acceptor energy level. At room temperature, some small amount of charge carriers will shift towards conduction band, and some holes gets created across this valence band position. More number of charge carriers, that is holes are get created across this valence band position, and Fermi energy level shift towards this acceptor level. And Fermi energy level shift towards this acceptor energy level. That Fermi energy level is indicated just above this acceptor energy level, that is EF. First EF, next then EA, then EV. Whereas here EC, ED, EF. Whereas here EF, EA, EV. Just to go with respect to these energy levels. First one is conduction energy level, next one is donor energy level, next one is Fermi energy level. Here Fermi energy level, first one is Fermi energy level, next acceptor energy level, and next valence energy level. These are the energy levels. How the Fermi energy level is going to be shifted towards the majority charge carriers, that is electrons, and with respect to the holes in p-type and n-type semiconductor material. This is the basic difference in Fermi energy levels in intrinsic semiconductor material as well as in extrinsic semiconductor material. This is about extrinsic semiconductor material, that is n-type semiconductor material. Its conduction in n-type semiconductor material. p-type semiconductor material crystal structure and conduction in p-type semiconductor material and Fermi energy levels in both p-type and n-type semiconductor material, shifting of this Fermi energy level towards the conduction band and towards the valence band, that is acceptor energy levels and donor energy levels. Fermi energy level is going to be shifted here. In detail by deriving some expressions, we are going to discuss more elaborately in the upcoming in the next classes or upcoming classes, we will see. And for the next session we will see the conductivity in extrinsic semiconductor material, law of mass action, and diffusion concepts. We are going to see these concepts in the